Good evening. 23,816. 3,153. In the past 2 months, we've been glued to the television and social media, listening to numbers that pertain to Indiana, to the US, to the world. How many people are sick with coronavirus? How many have recovered? How many have passed away? But today, in Israel, for 24 hours, the country comes together thinking about other painful numbers. 23,816 soldiers who have died defending our state of Israel. 3,153 victims of horrible terrorist attacks. Thank you for joining our Indianapolis Yom HaZikaron Israel Memorial Day commemoration. I am Michelle Bukai, the Jewish Federation's Israel and Overseas Director. I would like to introduce you to our Israeli emissary, our Shlicha, Lian Bar Zohar.
Shalom. Good evening. Today, on the 3rd of the Jewish month of Iyar, 5780, Israel bows its head to the soldiers who lost their lives in battle and all the victims of terror. Following Israel's Memorial Day, we will celebrate 72 years of the State of Israel independence. This day is really special to me because I have friends and my uncle, Eli Eliyahu Binyamin, God bless his soul, Zichro Livracha, who lost their lives. Today's ceremony is about people who sacrificed their lives while protecting the country against unjustified hatred. Through sadness, I'm presenting hope for better days ahead and future peace. This year, as we deal with the world pandemic, it's even more powerful than ever to honor those who lost, because we are dealing with different kind of war. I will end with a quote from the book of Samuel. איך נפלו גיבורים בתוך המלחמה, יהונתן על במותיך חלל. How the mighty have fallen in the midst of battle. Jonathan, upon the high place it's slain. Let us remember our dear brothers and sisters who lost their lives for our country. Lo nishkach, we will never forget. Memorial Day in Israel began with a 2-minute siren in which the entire country stops and honors the fallen. We will start the ceremony with a video of the siren taken last year on Yom HaZikaron. Please rise. Thank you.
Please be seated. We would like to invite the following people to recite the Yizkor prayer. The word Yizkor in Hebrew means remember. Rabbi Dennis Sasso of Congregation Bethel Tzedek, Rabbi Justin Kerber of Congregation Beth Shalom, and Gadi Bukai from Etz Chaim Sephardic Congregation.
Tefilat Yizkor. יזכור עם ישראל את בניו ובנותיו, הנאמנים והאמיצים, חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, וכל לוחמי המחתרות וחטיבות הלוחמים במערכות העם.
וכל אנשי קהיליית המודיעין והביטחון ואנשי המשטרה אשר חירפו נפשם במלחמה על תקומת ישראל. וכל אלה שנרצחו בארץ ומחוצה לה בידי מרצחים מארגוני הטרור.
יזכור ישראל ויתברך בזרעו, ויאבל על זיו העלומים, וחמדת הגבורה וקדושת הרצון ומסירות הנפש אשר נספו במערכה הכבדה. יהיו חללי מערכות ישראל, עטורי הניצחון, חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור.
We're going to hear the tragic story of sweet young Ori Ansbacher. May she rest in peace. Introducing us to her story are Beth Clapper, the president of the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis, and Debbie Grant, CEO of the Jewish Federation.
The following tells the story of a special girl named Ori Ansbacher. About a year ago, on the morning of February 7th, 2019, Ori Ansbacher left the center where she volunteered through the National Service in the direction of Ein Yael Forest in Jerusalem. She encountered a 29-year-old Palestinian resident of Hebron who attacked her and stabbed her with a knife. He raped her and fled the scene. Ori's body was found in the evening with signs of brutal violence. The terrorist was caught the following day and charged with rape and murder. She was 19 years old at the time of her death. Ori was a child of peace, and she wrote a poem that talks about peace and brotherhood. And here is that poem. Act, so your world will be a world of peace, peace everlasting. Remember the young woman that you are, the honey that was, before they drew it and you out. Reclaim for yourself anew that sweetness that was your own. Revive the girl and create a world of peace before negotiating with yourself and your beloved, before the treaties and the violations and the battles. Make peace within yourself.
In closing, we will share a video about the project Embroidered in Memory, a meaningful program that Ori Ansbacher's parents launched. It's a venture that started with family members and friends. Hundreds of colorful embroidered tapestries, woven and sewn by thousands of people worldwide in memory of Ori, were stitched together to form a massive 3-meter-long Israeli flag and hung prominently in the Jewish quarter of Jerusalem's Old City. The project, which brought together 5,200 embroidered works made by a wide range of people from around the world, mostly women, was a project created by Bat Sheva Sadan, whose own parents were killed 16 years ago in a terrorist attack. Bat Sheva made an embroidery from the fabric of her mother's headdress the day that she was murdered.
במיזם הזה ששותפות בו נשים מכל העולם, ושמאלנים, ימניים, מכל הסוגים ממש, כל אחת רוצה להביא את האור שלה, וביחד כל האור הזה זה אור גדול מאוד. כל הארץ, מאילת, מאזוז, מהצפון הרחוק, מנהריה ומעלות, קנדה, אורוגוואי, מקסיקו, הולנד, ארצות הברית, לטביה, מרוסיה, קבוצה מאוד גדולה של נשים שרקמה שם במוסקבה. יש פה רקמה שרקמה חסידת בלז, התקשרה אליי בהתרגשות, ובקושי הצלחנו לדבר כי יודעת רק יידיש. הרקמה הזאת רקומה על מטפחת ראש, שהייתה של סבתא של זאת שרקמה אותה, מטפחת שעברה איתה את השואה. יש פה עוד רקמה של אישה ששכלה 3 בני משפחה במלחמת השחרור. רואה שם באמצע השיא שיש שלום, עולם של שלום, שזו בחורה, נערה, עם שיתוק מוחין שפשוט ישבה ועם המורה שלה ביחד עשתה את זה. הגיעו כבר למעלה מ3,000 רקמות, כל הזמן אני מקבלת עוד, כל רקמה, לא משנה מה, היא תהיה חלק מהמארג. וזה רקמה שהגיעו רק הבוקר, ופה בארון יש עוד. אני בחרתי לרקום על המטפחת שאימא שלי לבשה ביום האחרון שבו היא נרצחה, ובחרתי לרקום תורמוס ביום האחרון לפני שהם נרצחו. הם טיילו בגבעת התורמוסים ובעמק האלה. יש פה מקמה שחתמה הרבנית קקח. החלום שלי שזה יהדהד בכל העולם, שבישראל נשים לא מוכנות לעבור לסדר היום אחרי פיגוע כזה נורא. יש לנו סיפור אחד שהוא הסיפור של כולנו, כל אחד הוא חלק בפאזל הגדול הזה, אבל אנחנו לא לבד, ואם מישהו מרגיש לבד, שיחפש את הדרך להיות שותף למשהו כללי יותר, למשהו ישראלי יותר, למשהו יהודי יותר, ומיד הוא ירגיש את העוצמה הזאת של הביחד.
We would like to invite Eli Keren, a member of our community, to tell us about his cousin, Avigdor Keren, Zichrono Livracha, and to recite Kaddish.
My name is Eli Keren. Alongside with my wife Tamar and our son Tamir, we moved to the Indianapolis area about 4 years ago, and we live in Carmel today. Today is also Memorial Day in Israel, a day in which the country remembers its fallen soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice in order to make sure that Israel is a safe haven for every Jew around the world, a country that is a beacon to the rest of the world until today. I'd like to share with you the story of sacrifice of my uncle. His name was Avigdor Lichtenpecht Keren. Avigdor was also known as Vigi. Like most pilots in Israeli Air Force, he had a nickname, Vigi. And I will refer to Vigi throughout this video and tell his life story and share with you the incredible story of Avigdor Lichtenpecht Keren. Avigdor Lichtenpecht Keren was born in 1934 in Warsaw, Poland, and spent his early childhood in the Jewish quarter of Warsaw. 1939, when the Nazis invaded Poland and occupied Poland, both him, my father, who was his eldest brother, David, and their parents managed to escape to the eastern part of Poland. That time was occupied also by Russia and ultimately occupied by the Nazis as well. They joined the partisans and fought the Nazis in that part until the end of the war. My grandfather, their father, Avigdor's father, never survived the Holocaust and perished during that period of time. After the war, Vigi had found his way trekked his way through Europe due to the efforts of Aliyat Hanoar. It's a youth movement that gathered all the little children that survived the Holocaust in Europe, and he was put on a boat to make Aliyah from Germany to Israel. Actually, he was picked up in Germany, but the boat left from France. The name of the boat was Exodus 1947, and if some of you remember, saw the movie with Paul Newman, this boat with 3,000 Jews, survivor of the Holocaust, made its way voyage-wise to Israel. The movie Exodus with Paul Newman actually commemorates that voyage. Vigi arrived in Israel in 1947 in Tel Aviv and reunited with the remainder of his family, my grandmother and my father, and had joined the what we call the Flight Scouts in Israel. And his dream was to fly. His dream was to fly, to become a pilot. Was inspired by the horrors that he saw in World War II during the Holocaust, with the Nazis plane strafing from above and then the Allies planes coming over. And determining the fate of the war. And he swore that if he could, he would become a pilot and he would defend the Jewish people, his people, from above. In 1952, Viggy joined the Air Force in Israel and was a graduate of flight course number 13. He was top of his class and was recognized as such by being one of the first 10 pilots handpicked by David Ben-Gurion to bring to Israel the first jet fighter pilots from France, the Ouragans. He was the founder of Flight Squadron number 113, the 113, which is in existence until today, only not with jet fighters, but with helicopter gunships, the Apache Longbow. 1955, that's the year that they brought over those planes to Israel, which contributed heavily to Israel's air superiority throughout the region until today. And its Israeli Air Force is well renowned today due to those first early pilots that managed to do the unbelievable and overcome many, many obstacles. In 1956, on a mission with his plane, Viggy took fire from the ground. The plane was hit and damaged. Because of his upbringing, he wouldn't bring himself, especially with the notion with the partisans that you don't abandon anybody on the battlefield, even as a child. He decided not, we know that, he decided not to abandon the plane and try to rescue the plane even though it was damaged. He tried to land the plane on the water, the beach of Nitzanim in the south of Israel. Unfortunately, during that attempt, he was killed. Viggy was a captain in the Israeli Air Force. He was 22 when he died, and his life story embodies and personifies the notion of the Jewish people in Israel, of the story of the resurrection from the ashes of the Holocaust to the heights of the skies above Israel, defending that the Holocaust would never, ever happen again for as long as people like my uncle, Avigdor Lichtenberg Karen, defend Israel. Another related story is when he was picked up by Ben-Gurion to go and deliver, to bring the planes to Israel. When Ben-Gurion went over the list, he saw that the pilot's name was Avigdor Lichtenpecht. Ben-Gurion didn't like Galician names or the Diasporic name and asked my uncle to change his name, Lichtenpecht, to a Hebrew Israeli name. My uncle picked the name Karen, which means ray of light. And the family followed suit, and we adopted the name Karen after that. My uncle is buried in the military cemetery of Kiryat Shaul in Tel Aviv, and he's remembered every year, especially when we're in Israel. There is a memorial service at the squadron and at the base in which the squadron is at. One last comment. May his memory will forever live in the annals of Jewish history. As for people like my uncle, Israel is today what it is. Thank you for listening to the story, and happy Independence Day tomorrow. קדיש, יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, ויצמח פורקני, ויקרב משיחי, וחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, ואמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
We would like to invite David Heilbronn the Jewish Federation's Director of Youth Philanthropy and Connection, to tell us about a very special young man, Matan Gottlieb, of blessed memory.
Staff Sergeant Matan Gottlieb was born on May 21st, 1993, in Rishon LeZion, Israel, to Ruchama and Shmuel Gottlieb. The youngest of three siblings, Matan was an excellent athlete growing up. He was a fan of Maccabi Tel Aviv and played everything from handball to volleyball to soccer with friends. In addition to sports, Matan was an active member of his local Israeli Scouts unit, working as a madrich and helping support his peers. More than anything, Matan simply loved to live and took advantage of every moment in life to be a caring son, sibling, and friend for those around him. On November 24th, 2011, Matan drafted into the IDF Paratroopers Brigade. As with all aspects of his life, Matan saw an opportunity to give his all and took it. Training hard, Matan was eventually selected to join the Maglan Special Forces Unit. During Operation Tzuk Eitan in 2014, Matan's unit was stationed on the Gaza border. On the 23rd day of the operation, July 30th, 2014, and 4 months before the conclusion of his IDF service, Matan's unit entered Gaza and was conducting a patrol in Khan Yunis. While looking for a tunnel, the unit entered a booby-trapped medical clinic, which collapsed, killing Matan and 2 other members of his unit. Matan Gottlieb was 21 years old at the time of his death. Matan's life was one of optimism and hope, believing tomorrow can be a better day, that everyone can influence it. Those who met Matan immediately recognized his amazing heart and desire to give. One of his favorite pastimes was to sit on a hill in neighboring Nes Ziona, dreaming with friends about all the amazing ventures and travels they would have together, after school, after the army, after life went back to normal for them. After Matan's death, his friends set off on post-IDF trips and adventures. They wanted to take a part of Matan and his spirit with them. They created stickers and opened a Facebook group to show where Matan's story had gone. While it started with friends and family, the stickers soon took off as Matan's story spread across the world. On the stickers is the phrase, "Peace Yaman," one of the last messages that Matan sent to a friend. His friends and family take this message of Peace Yaman as Matan's desire for peace in the world and carry this with them to the far-flung corners of the globe. You are invited to watch this short video of some of the places that Matan's stickers have traveled.
שתלך, ואם הלכת רק תזכור שאני כאן. את כל החלומות שלך אני שומר, הכל נשאר כמו שהשארת על השולחן. ואם תלך אתה יודע שאני כבר משתגע, הגעגוע גומר אותי. והלילות הפכו ליום, ומתפלל שזה חלום, ואתה זה שתעיר אותי. ואם תלך אל המדים אז רק תחזור, ואת הזמן אין לעצור, את זה הבנו. וגעגוע שכואב משאיר לו חור עמוק עמוק בלב שלנו. ואם אפשר שעד יומי האחרון אתה תהיה יפה בדיוק כמו שנולדת, שלא תלך לי לשנייה בזיכרון, והחיבוק ממך יהיה כמו שאהבת.
had the opportunity to meet Matan personally, I came to know his story through a partnership program that brings together Jewish high schoolers from the United States and Israel for a year-long leadership experience. Matan was an early participant in this program and experienced together with American and Israeli counterparts the good that they could do in the world. Since Matan's passing, each year the new cohort of participants visits Matan's Hill in Ness Ziona. They hear stories from Matan's friends and families and continue his dream of making the world a more loving and caring place. Zichrono lebracha, may his memory be for a blessing.
אצלנו בגן יש המון ילדים, את חלקם אני אוהב, את חלקם אני לא מכיר, אבל מי לא שמע על האומץ של רן? הוא הכי מהיר בחול, הוא הכי חזק בגן, אבל יש לו סוד אחד שפחד הוא לגלות, שהוא כל כך מאוהב באחת הילדות. בלילות קרים עם פנס מתחת לשמיכה הם מדברים, והוא מגלה למה היא בשבילו כל עולמו מוגן מתחת לשמיכה. אצלנו בגן יש הרבה חבורות, יש כאלה נחשבים, יש כאלה שפחות, אבל מי לא שמע על קופצי הנדנדות, מרים להם כפיים, מלמדים אותם לנחות, מורמים על נס הדגל, גאוות כל האזור, רק לפעמים כשהם קופצים רחוק הם שוכחים לחזור. בלילות קרים עם פנס מתחת לשמיכה הם מדברים, והוא מגלה למה היא בשבילו כל עולמו מוגן מתחת לשמיכה. אצלנו בגן נפרדים בשמחה, כי היום לא ארוך ונפגשים שוב מחר, חוץ מאלה שפתאום לא חוזרים יותר לגן, אמרו לי שהם רק עברו דירה מעבר לענן. אז בלילות קרים עם פנס מתחת לשמיכה הם מדברים, והוא מגלה למה היא בשבילו, היא בוכה כשהוא מציע לה להיות כל עולמו בערב שלפני המלחמה. אצלנו בגדוד יש המון ילדים, את חלקם אני אוהב, את חלקם אני לא אכיר.
We thank Rabbi Michael Haston for leading us in the El Maleh Rachamim prayer. El Maleh Rachamim means God full of compassion. It's a prayer for the deceased that is recited with a haunting chant at funeral services or when visiting the graves of relatives.
El Maleh Rachamim, Shochein Bameromim, Hamtzei Menucha Nechora Kanfei Ashechino, B'malot Kedoshim, Torim V'Giborim, Kezohar Rakia Masirim, L'nishmot Chayalei Tzava Hagana L'Yisrael, V'lochamei HaMachtorot, Shenaflu B'milchamot Yisrael. L'chem Barachmim Yasireim B'Seiter K'nafav L'Olamim, V'Yitzror Chayim Et Nishmatam אדוני הוא נחלתם, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ויעמדו לגורל מקץ ימין, ונאמר אמן.
We invite Yochi Bell, a member of our community, to tell us about her cousin, Nehemiah Amal, Zichrono Livracha, of blessed memory.
אני רוצה לספר לכם על נחמיה, בן דודתי לבית משפחת עמר מהיישוב קרני שומרון. נחמיה נולד בראש חודש שבט תשמ"ז, ה-31/1/87. הוא היה ילד מלא בחן, אומן בנפש ובידי הזהב שבהן התברך. יצירותיו היו מאוד ייחודיות וניכרו ביופיין. נחמיה היה תמיד שמח. לא זכור לי לראות אותו כועס, הוא לקח את החיים בקלות והיה אהוב על כולם. זכור לי כל צחוק הפעמונים המתגלגל שלו, שאי אפשר היה לפספס. צניעותו ועדינות הנפש שלו היו שלובים יחד עם ביטחון ואומץ. הוא היה ספורטאי מעולה, הוא אהב לאתגר את עצמו עד הקצה, והיה צולח את האתגרים שלו בלי פחד. אני זוכרת אותו הולך על ידיים, ועושה כל מיני ביצועים מדהימים על הרולר בליידס. אחד הזיכרונות המתוקים שלי, אישית ממנו, זאת החיפושית יוכבד. זהו שיר שהוא היה שר לי בכל פעם שהוא היה בא לבקר, וכילדה לקבל הקדשת שיר עם השם שלי תמיד היה מצחיק וגרם לי להרגיש מיוחדת, במיוחד שזה בא ממנו. נחמיה אהב מאוד את משפחתו, וזכור לי במיוחד כמה התרגש כשאחותו הקטנה נולדה, וכמה אהב ושמר עליה. במוצאי שבת, ה' באדר, תשס"ב, ה-16/2/2002, הייתי באוטובוס בדרכי חזרה משבת עם חברותיי לכיתה מחוץ לעיר. כל קולות הצחוק והשירה שהיו ברקע פתאום נקטעו, כשאמרו בחדשות שמחבל התפוצץ בקניון בקרני שומרון, ושנער ונערה בני 15 נהרגו במקום. מיד כל מיני מחשבות החלו לרוץ לי בראש, וכשהגעתי הביתה, אמי קיבלה אותי בבכי, שהסביר את הכל. נחמיה נהרג על ידי מחבל מתועב, בזמן שישב לאכול פיצה בקניון, בגלל היותו יהודי. נשללה ממנו הזכות להיות חופשי בארצו, כמו שנשללה מאוד רבים. לעילוי נשמתו ולהנצחתו, פורסמו עותקים של יצירת האומנות שצייר לפני שנרצח, יחד עם מילות השיר מלאך, שאותם כתב אחיו משה. נחמיה, כך נקראת בפי אוהבים. חיית איתנו 15 שנים. נשמה טהורה, מלאך של מטה. ברגע אחד מאיתנו הלכת. למה אתה, מתנה משמיים, נער של צחוק, עם אור בעיניים? עכשיו מבינים, זה ברור כל כך. הלכת מאיתנו, כי חסר לו מלאך. פירוש השם נחמיה הוא אלוקים ינחם, שבמותו יצווה נחמה לעם ישראל. השם יקום דמו.
Sun, your love.
We invite Eric Kohler, the CEO of the Indianapolis JCC, to share a few thoughts about Yom HaZikaron.
Hello, my name is Eric Kohler. I am the CEO of the Arthur M. Glick Jewish Community Center, and I'm honored to be able to close our community Yom HaZikaron program. What happens to perspective when we are living through what can feel like an endless alternative reality? After weeks of shutdown, it becomes more and more difficult to get our arms around how things will work, how they'll look and feel when this crisis is over. How many will we have lost? How deep will the economic fallout be? Will the nature of community and the way it functions have changed? The answers seem far away. In the Jewish communal world, near at hand are decisions that need to be made about how to serve those most in need, about layoffs and furloughs, and whether or when summer camps may open. So many unknowns, so much unfamiliar ground, so much to think about. These uncertainties elicit anxiety, stress, sadness, and pain. Now we are beginning to touch the surface of what our brothers and sisters in the state of Israel feel on Yom HaZikaron. Our feelings of angst are due to the indiscriminate coronavirus that targets not based on one's nationality, religious affiliation, or homeland. Sadly, there are people and countries that exhibit sinat chinam, senseless hatred, and have a dedicated goal of eliminating our Jewish people specifically because of our race, because of our religion, because of our nationality, and because of our ties to our Jewish homeland. For 2,000 years, 100 generations, our Jewish calendar was static. 70 years ago, that all changed. Our Hebrew language was revived, our nationhood was restored, a safe haven was established for Jews anywhere in the world. 3 holidays were added to our Jewish calendar: Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, and Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day. The privilege of rejoining history with our Jewish homeland and state of Israel cost over 20,000 lives. To quote Ambassador Ron Dummer, tonight we have a sacred responsibility to give thanks to those who have given us that privilege. We thank the fallen sons and daughters who have protected us. We embrace their families and all the bereaved families who have sacrificed so much. We promise that their immense sacrifice will never be in vain. We pledge to do whatever is necessary to ensure that the privilege they have given us, we will give to others, to our children, to their children, and to countless generations to come. The privilege of standing tall, the privilege of standing proud, the privilege of standing strong, and the privilege of being a free people in our land. May their memory be blessed. I look forward to us all seeing through to the other side of this situation and getting back to what we used to think were tough and difficult challenges before the coronavirus. Good night.
Please stand and join together in singing Hatikva. the Israeli anthem. The word Hatikva means the hope and will be sung by cantor Melissa Cohen of Congregation Bethel Tzedek. Afterwards, cantor Aviva Maher of the Indianapolis Hebrew Congregation will lead us in singing the national anthem. Please stay with us afterwards, as there are a few families from our community who will be lighting memorial candles in memory of Israeli fallen soldiers and victims of terror. Thank you for joining us.
I am cantor Melissa Cohen of Congregation Bethel Tzedek in Indianapolis. I invite you to please rise in honor of the national anthem of the State of Israel. Kol od balevav kenima nefesh Yehudi omiya ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo ata tikvatenu hatikva bat shnot alpayim liutam chofshi be'atzenu eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liotam Hoshi Be'atzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
I invite you to please rise for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are the Herrera family, the family of Lian Bar-Zohar, Shlicha. Light this memory candle to Eli Binyamin, the soldier that killed in the IDF. Rest his peace.
Hi, we're the Taros.
We're lighting this candle in memory of Nehemiah Amar, who was killed on the 5th of Adar, 2002.
We are the Pitsley family. We light this candle in memory of Shlomo Ashkenazi.
We are the
Dorman family.
and we are lighting this candle in memory of Yuval Mor Yosef and Yosef Cohen, who passed away December 13th, 2018. May their memory be a blessing.
Ash Gottlieb family. We are lighting this candle in memory of the fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism in Israel.
We're the Mauer family, and we're lighting this candle in memory of fallen soldiers and victims of terror.
We are
Avi
and Maya
Shmuel.
Shmuel. We are lighting this candle in memory of Matan Gottlieb, Zichrono Livracha.
We are the Shmugler family, and we are lighting this candle in memory of the fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism in Israel.